back in the studio, and we were talking about the HTC One Red Glamour Edition phone. If you wanted that special phone, that was the one to get. And speaking of phones, because now, while we're talking about phones, we might as well continue on that phone line. So speaking of phones, T-Mobile has introduced, well, not introduced, but T-Mobile is saying that according to a report by Digital Trends, T-Mobile is about to launch their new advanced LTE service coming later this year, according to Digital Trends. So if you're a T-Mobile user, whether you use their prepaid plan or anything like that, if you're a T-Mobile user, in an interview with lightreading.com, T-Mobile Vice President Dave Mayo has confirmed plans to introduce LTE advanced features to its 4G network later in 2013. Now, this follows news shared in an April interview where another T-Mobile VP said its network infrastructure supported LTE advanced and that it was probably able to move faster on the service than its competitors. That's what T-Mobile was saying. Now, Mayo was speaking at Light Reading's Backhaul Strategies for Mobile Operators event earlier this week, or last week, I should say, and was quoted as saying LTE advanced features would be coming later this year, but didn't specify which features would be arriving. Instead of one big upgrade, carriers can choose from to add certain characteristics like LTE-A to their existing networks and provide a sense of minimum specs to be attained. They can be branded as LTE Advanced. So which features will T-Mobile introduce? Well, and what will it mean for subscribers? As Mayo hasn't shared any details, we're forced to speculate and stuff like that. So we're not going to run into a lot of speculations here, but the point is that if you're on that T-Mobile plan, and T-Mobile is definitely a carrier that has been making a lot of moves this year, from getting rid of contracts, well, not getting rid of it totally, but from introducing that new prepaid plan, and the prepaid plan that included you to be able to buy top level phones, because that's one of the problems with prepaid. With prepaid, you really don't get the good phones. You get these, the backwater phones nobody wants. But T-Mobile, they stepped up to the plate and said, you can get an iPhone 5, you can get a Samsung Galaxy S4, you can get an HTC One, you can get a BlackBerry Z10. All of these top-level, high-level phones, T-Mobile says you can get for a small down payment plus a monthly fee of $20 or so forth. Or if you put more down, your monthly payment is less. So you can get these phones, these top-level phones, for cheap. And then you just have a regular prepaid plan, like a $30, $50 a month prepaid plan, plus whatever it's going to be for the phone. So let's say your phone payment is $20 a month, and then a prepaid plan is $50. So that's $70 cold right there. Not $70 and then after a bunch of fees it's $120. No overages, nothing like that. It's $70 and then that's it. So T-Mobile has been making some good moves this year, and so now that they're going to improve their LTE network, I'm telling you, that can only help T-Mobile. There's no way that this couldn't help T-Mobile unless it's not as they say it's going to be. It's not as fast, or it's not as fluent, or the features that they're upgrading to is nothing that anybody cares about. You know what I'm saying? So the only way this thing fails is if those things happen. But T-Mobile has been making great strides, especially this year, to improve its LTE service, to improve its not just LTE but the carrier as a whole, to improve its carrier service. T-Mobile definitely has been making strides. So it's going to be interesting, and it's going to be a good thing to see if T-Mobile can continue to improve or continue to innovate and change things to where they're making a statement in this in the industry of cell phones. And speaking of companies making a statement, Apple is their iOS 7 has gotten a lot of press from their WWDC conference. When they were there at WWDC, which happened the same time as E3, they said a lot of things about iOS 7, a lot of the functionality of it. Everyone was like, man, this thing is pretty good. And according to a report by VentureBeat, they're saying that the iOS 7 is going to include new head gestures controls for your iPhone. So here's the skinny on it. They're saying the Apple iOS 7 beta includes new head gestures that enable users to control their iPhone by moving their head left or right. And the gestures are buried in Apple's accessibility settings and are currently only intended, it appears, for use by people who cannot access iPhone's on-screen controls. Activating switch controls allow a user to attach a left or right head movement to highlight on-screen options and select it. More interestingly, however, this means that Apple has created a camera-based gesture sensing technology that could eventually find its way into apps and operating systems at large. Now, you remember, we previewed here a gesture control app that was being worked on at Kickstarter, a software-based program that you download, and it used your existing camera. If you remember that, it used your existing camera to control your computer. So rather than like Leap, Leap Motion is coming out, and Leap Motion is a gesture-based device that's coming out, and it's going to allow you, and many of you remember Leap Motion. Let me just show you a picture of it here, because for those of you that don't remember Leap Motion, this is it right here. If you remember, this is the device that's coming out later this month. Matter of fact, I already got my email that Leap Motion is not on the way, but is ready for shipping. They're saying this week. They're finalizing it this week. If you don't correct your address by today, I think it is, they're saying that it will be final and your Leap Motion will be shipped to that address. So for those of you that remember Leap Motion, that's a gesture control peripheral that hooks into your PC via USB, and all you have to do, it creates a field around your computer. So all you have to do is move your hand like this, and you can swipe through pages. You can zoom up like this, zoom in. You can type in the air. You can write and sign things in the air and stuff like that. That is what Leap Motion is. And I see now Xavier's looking and saying, that just don't make no sense. I mean, Xavier, have you heard of anything like Leap Motion, like, around your friends and stuff like that? Have you heard of anything like that coming out?
No.
No, you haven't heard of it? Well, so if you were to tell your friends, I know you recently said that you tried to explain 3D printing to your friends at school and stuff like that, and what was the reaction?
They didn't believe me.
They didn't believe you, right? Because it just now if you didn't see what you saw and someone was telling you, would you believe that person? They came out and was telling you, man, you can use a printer and print stuff. Would you believe that?
I wouldn't believe it, because the first time I saw it, I didn't even believe it.
And after you were seeing it,
yeah,
and you didn't believe it. So now, with Leap Motion now, this thing allows you not to even use your keyboard. Forget your keyboard, forget touchscreen, because I know you guys have tablets and stuff like that. Forget about that. That's old school now. Mm-hmm. Now it's, Jaden, you have a question? Go ahead. What's your question?
Then what is the touch screen people gonna do when Leap Motion comes out?
That's a very good and smart question.
How are they gonna make money?
How are they gonna
keep their company?
That's a very good question. And see, Jaden, this is the thing that companies battle with all the time, because a company like Leap Motion, right? They invent a technology that suddenly makes touch screens obsolete. You see, because before you knew about Leap Motion, touch screen was top notch. That was top of the line. You touching things. Now you have a company like Leap Motion that comes out. So you're asking, what do companies do? They are forced to either innovate or die. It's as simple as that. Because why would somebody buy? In other words, you see the problems with touch screen, right? Like when you touch the screen, you get your fingerprints all over it. It always looks oily. You always have to be wiping it clean.
And then when you have like a pattern password, the fingerprinting comes out on the on the
screen.
thing. So when it's locked, they can see the password.
So there you go. So I mean, right away. So if you have that finger lock, and all of us have it on our tablets or phones, you know, you might do a design like a Z or 7 or whatever, and that is traced because your finger has oils on it. So even if someone doesn't know your password, all they have to do is hold it to the light, just right, and you see the design. So you just go boom, they're in all your stuff and things like that. Leap motion is going to make that obsolete to where you have your computer, you have your tablet. And matter of fact, the Samsung Galaxy S4 has a version of it to where you just hold your hand over it and it can do some stuff.
And on the Samsung Galaxy S4, like if you're watching a movie or something, if you look away, it stops. It stops.
Yeah, so it has a version of it, but leap motion is a full-fledged, it takes over your keyboard. So imagine you want to type, right? And you have a virtual keyboard on screen. You just hold your hands like this, and you just type, and it recognizes it on the screen. You surf in the web, and you say, man, I'm tired of this page. You just go like this. Just go like that, and the pages move. You go like this, the pages move up. You go like that, they move down. You do this, it zooms in. Do that, it zooms out. You press over here, it X's it out. I mean, that's what leap motion brings. And as soon as this thing was coming to market, I said, you know what? I have to make sure I'm on board with leap motion. So for those of you who haven't seen the leap motion video, I'm going to pull it up in the break, and we're going to talk more about this gesture control situation that we're talking about here with Apple. With Apple's gesture control, it's just a left or right head movement that allows you to do different things. So for those of you who haven't seen it, we're going to show a video of it right here on Tech Post again, because we've shown this video before, but we want to make sure that everyone has seen it. And if you haven't, this is definitely, and that's Jaden asked the perfect question. What are touchscreen companies going to do? People who make touchscreen panels, what are they going to do? They're going to have to innovate. Matter of fact, Jaden, many of those companies are teaming up with Leap Motion. Right now, Leap Motion has a contract with HP. They have a contract with Asus, those computer makers, to put Leap Motion in the computer. So therefore, you're just going to have your hand over your computer like this, and it's doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your computer is either you're swiping like this, or you say, let me move up. Let me move down. Oh, wow, look at that. You're going to be doing stuff like that now. Touch screen has become old school. So when you guys head back to school and everyone is with their touch screen, you'll be like, you'll be like, y'all still using touch screen? They're going to be like, still? Ain't nothing else out there. You'll be like, clearly you haven't heard about Leap Motion. And once again, they're going to tell you, nah, I don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, would you believe Leap Motion is out there, Xavier? If I didn't tell you right now?
I wouldn't believe it.
You wouldn't believe it? So you're going to want to see this video coming up after the break. So coming up after the break, we're going to show the video again for those who haven't seen Leap Motion right here on Tech Pulse. So stay tuned right to this, right to your computer screen, right after these messages.